So Sonia O'Sullivan, we're here for Team Ireland Olympic home tour with FBD Insurance. How does it feel to be here?
So yeah, no, it's great to be here. I was in Cork last week for the first leg of the tour, and then I left. Rob and Kenny went on the boys on tour, to Galway and Belfast, and rejoining them again now in Dublin. So it's great to be here, and I'm really looking forward to meet the families. It's a special event, I think, for the families of all the athletes out in Tokyo who, in normal times they would have went out to support them, and it's something that everybody, looks forward to. When their children are taking part in the Olympics, that they actually have an excuse to go there, and it doesn't matter what it costs or what's involved. They're going to make sure that they get there, and unfortunately, we can't do it this year. So something like this is a little bit special because it's important for the parents to meet other parents as well. Absolutely. And to share the experiences with them, and on a small scale, I suppose we can do this now, and I'm sure they'll have lots of different things organised for the days that the athletes are competing. So this kind of kick-starting it, and it gives you the energy as well and the excitement, that the Olympics is actually happening, and to be here and to be a part of it is great.
Oh, absolutely, it does. It gets that excitement going. It's great to see them all as well. I know a lot of them are just arriving now as we speak, and so for them, obviously not getting there. For you, was it massive to have your family there?
Oh yeah, it was more exciting for them, I think, to be planning it and organising it. And then it was always a thing to try and meet them out there. It was never easy to meet them because, when you're at the Olympics, there's all these different kind of bubbles of things going on. Even back then, there was bubbles of, you have the athletes and the coaches and everybody who's involved in the actual competition. And then you have the sponsors and the media, and then you have the parents and the family and the fans in the stands, so they're all kind of in their own little areas and doing their own thing, and everybody having a great time. And it's only when you finish your event that then you can kind of overlap and go into all the other different Olympic kind of groups, I would call them, and then to try and meet up with your family and friends, and they were always so excited to be out there. And it's great, to be able to go out there and visit countries and different places that you probably would never go, only for the fact that the Olympics are there.
Absolutely. And I was just looking like a few of the Instagrams, people putting up the Olympic Village and all the different things that's in place this time around because of COVID. It's very different. They're getting their temperature checks going in, they're putting on their masks, their gloves. The food hall looks manic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the normal manic food hall where there's people just rushing in and out. It seems very organised, and you can take your time, and it looks like it's a very different process. But there is always that rush, of trying to, get into the food hall and out. And I heard a couple of the Irish athletes talk, and they said where they're staying is very close, so they tend to just go over and take stuff back to their room and eat quickly, and they don't really hang around that much, which was always a big thing, was to hang around with the in the what do you call it, the dining hall.
Yeah,
you could spend you could spend way too much time in there as well, because you'd be sitting down and then more people would come and people would leave and more would come, and depending how social you wanted to be, you could be there all day. So that was a good social gathering. But now I think it's very much back to your room and kind of keeping the distance and staying apart a lot of the time.
And for a lot of these athletes, it's their first Olympic Games. A lot of them are extremely young. We'll probably see them for years to come, competing in a lot of Olympics to come. For you, it was 1992 in your first one, is that correct?
It was 1992 in Barcelona, and that was really exciting, and I can remember, people used to stop me in the street all the time, in Cove, and, when I'd be taking the train up to the track for training in Cork, and they'd be saying, when are you going? And I'd be kind of thinking, going where? And they said, to the Olympics. And, it was just such a exciting time, I suppose. And it was a bit novel at the time because, I was so young and well known in the town. So it was exciting for everybody. And, all the windows and the shops were dressed up and everything. And, people's houses had, everything was green. So, yeah, it's very exciting, I think, for people and their local communities, to get behind the athletes and to cheer them on. And there's so many Irish athletes this year, I think 118 altogether. So that's an absolutely massive number, and someone to look out for every day.
Yeah, and I was only saying to Rob, there's so many Cork athletes as well. Of course there is.
Of course, yes. No, we believe that there's something in the water. There's something in the water down there,
And for them, obviously, the rowing is probably a big one. Skibbereen, unbelievable talent coming out of there.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic to see the rowing team and the success that they've had, and they kind of say success breeds success, and it truly does, and I think when the rowers get out there and they compete and they show how good they are, then I think everybody else on the team wants to, match that as well, and they don't want to be left out.
No, and just as you said, that success breeds success. I know for me growing up, I think you were the only maybe female Irish sports person that me and my friends would have seen. Other than that, we didn't really see many on the telly, or there wasn't that many around. I would have grew up in '92, I was born. So, those years, you didn't see many other women on telly. So that was massive for us. And now, I suppose for you, they were probably the people competing now. You were their role model. Did you have role models yourself?
Well, I think most of they're probably male role models, and people probably local to me, like Marcus O'Sullivan. He was a world indoor champion, and he was just winning a lot of races, especially indoors in America. And Frank O'Mara, so they were on the Irish team when I first came on the Irish team, and I suppose the fact that they were so successful in '87 when I was, just kind of, I suppose, starting to run more senior races and bigger races, and to be on the same team as them, and they were so normal, and then I suppose that kind of make you feel welcome on the team, and you need that. You need to kind of want to be going away on the team, not just because of the competing, but because of the people that you're around and the people who help you and encourage you and support you all the way. And Frank and Marcus, they were there for me all the time, and we're still really good friends to this day.
And I don't think people realise it's massive preparation that goes into this. It's a lot of training.
There's a lot of training. You always say, you see people when they line up on the start line, or when the whatever event they're doing, when the competition is about to start, and you have no idea what goes on behind the scenes and what got them there. And a lot of them will be there and they're just happy to have got to the start line, because it does take a lot of effort, and there's highs and lows along the way that they have to deal with, and you're there then, and you just have to do the best that you can.
And I think for a lot of Irish, you were really famous for your kick down the straight. We always waited for that. It gave us such a buzz watching it.
Yeah, I suppose that's the one thing with athletics and watching track races, is that they're over pretty quickly, and so if you walk into a room and there's a race on, you can stop and watch it. And I was so lucky in the 90s. There was a lot of my races were on TV, and that's what people watched it on. Nowadays, you can look it up, you can watch it back online and different things like that. But I think when everybody's watching the same thing on TV, then they're all talking about it as well, and it becomes a bit of a soap opera in here. What's next? What's the next episode? So it's amazing. I meet so many people these days, who were there in the 90s, and they can recall all these memories, and for them to retell the stories to me, it's amazing, because you don't know that when you're out there competing yourself. You're just focused on what you're doing, and that's another group of people at the Olympics, is the people at home supporting, and the excitement and everything that it generates. So I'll be looking forward to that over the next few weeks.
Do you remember your first homecoming and what it was like? Was it almost like, oh my God, what's happening here?
Oh yeah, every now and then you kind of dig up a few photos. I actually found a few the other day, and now back then we used to print off the photos all the time, so it's quite amusing to look back at the photos. And there was open top bus, and the square in Cove was absolutely jam packed with people. And I remember being up on the stage, and I'm like, what am I going to do now? You wish you could dance or, sing a song or something like that. But it was very, very special, to see so many people come out and welcome me back home. And, I had finished fourth, and you kind of think, what if I'd won a medal? It would be totally mad.
No, I think that's just Ireland. We would, no matter what you'd won, we all would have been there. And obviously, Sophie, your daughter, is sort of following in your footsteps. She's away in Washington at the minute on a scholarship.
She is. She's at the University of Washington. So she just got finished the first year. It was a bit of a strange year. No in-class classes and things like that, and it was a bit unusual, but they did a few races, and she ran a personal best over the 1500 metres. Brilliant. She had a bit of an injury, so she's just recovering from that now, so hopefully she can be back and fit and ready to go again when they go back in September.
And is Olympic dreams on the card for her?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, I'd love to go and watch her at the Olympics somewhere someday. But she's got to find her way now. She took up the scholarship. She wanted to go there. She loves to run, and she loved being part of the Irish team in 2018 and 2019. Yeah. So it'd be absolutely fantastic if she can get back there again.
And what's your relationship with running now? Do you still get out?
Most days, yeah. I do like to go for a run. I run about an hour most
Right,
days,
okay.
yeah. And I just like to go and run in nice places, so just to kind of find a nice place to run and to go out there and enjoy it. And it kind of sets up your day, you feel great afterwards. And I do a podcast with Jarlath Regan. It's on the Irishmen Running Abroad, and we encourage people to run, and we're going to hopefully meet up with a group of people on the 8th of August, the last day of the Olympics, in one of my favourite places in Dublin, out at Ringsend Park.
Amazing. Good stuff. It's brilliant to do that. And have you got many people interested in getting involved?
Well, we have a Strava group, and everybody's in there, and we all encourage each other and have a chat, and you can ask questions and hopefully get some sensible answers. We'll just be inviting anybody at all to come along, and it's a bit of a pop-up event, so it'll be like a meet for a run kind of thing. And it'd be great to see some people come out and run and join us and have a bit of fun.
And obviously the Olympics as a whole, it's a massive event for everybody. It creates a lot of excitement. The wind is coming at us here. Definitely.
The typhoon might be coming here in Japan.
Where's our sun gone? Do you know what? Actually, just speaking on the weather, it's obviously a massive thing for athletes, the humidity that comes with it. But I think a lot of the athletes were in Spain and that, preparing for that.
Yeah, well, there's been athletes preparing in lots of hot places and kind of improvising with different methods of training in the heat. I think I heard a couple of the rowers saying they were on the bikes in the bathroom in their hotel in Spain, so it wasn't hot enough for them, and they had like the heater on, and just creating some humidity in the bathroom on the bikes. And people do all these crazy things, but I think when you do something to prepare yourself, then you believe that you've done everything possible, to be ready to compete no matter what the conditions.
And looking back now at the career you've had, unbelievable. Do you have a highlight?
There's lots of highlights. I say it was a bit of a roller coaster. There was highs and lows along the way. But I think ultimately, winning a silver medal in Sydney was, it was my third Olympics, and you kind of feel like you've given up like 12 years to get to this point, and I did feel like it was third time lucky, and I had to make the most of it, and it was definitely a huge bonus for me to come away with a silver medal.
Unbelievable. And who will you be looking out for now to hopefully come home with a medal?
Well, I suppose Sonita Perspura in the rowing is a big favourite, and who else? Annalise Murphy in the sailing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I need a list in front of me now, but there is a lot. There's like some great athletes, and really looking forward to cheering on the team next few weeks.
Thanks so much, Sonia. Thank you.